Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jay.
What up, everybody? You guys thought I was frozen. Welcome to this week's episode of the Overflow Podcast. We are back, Jack. We missed last week. My schedule has been crazy, but now I'm starting to kind of back normalize. But as always, I'm Joaquin and
I'm Jake.
And we're happy to be here. We got some stuff to talk about. I don't know what we're going to talk about because it seems like coronavirus has sucked everything out of the air. There's nothing good going on because there's nothing going on.
Right? Like, you know, we can't look to like get new music because nobody's really dropping music because they can't get to the studio to record.
Or they're just not releasing it yet, or
right?
You know,
you can't do new movies because all the movies have been pushed back to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Or next year.
So, you know, what we gonna do? I know this. I saw Trolls Worldwide Tour.
World Tour?
World Tour. We didn't talk about that last episode because I started to watch it last episode. I finished watching it. I watched it. I thought it was hilarious. You're right. I mean, sequels are hard. You know, very few sequels are as good or better than the original.
Right.
Anyway.
This was definitely not better than the original.
But it was funny, and my favorite scene was the reggaeton trolls.
Oh. Yeah.
And Tiny Diamond was hilarious too, though.
Tiny Diamond, that's the house favorite with the kids.
Oh my goodness. No, I love the reggaeton trolls and the K-pop trolls having their little
trolls.
The what?
The Boricua trolls. That's what the kids here call them. The Boricua trolls.
Yo, that was freaking hilarious. Hilarious. I also saw I saw The Way Back.
Okay, how was that?
With Affleck, it was good. Sad. I was upset with the ending.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. I was upset with the ending though, because it didn't end the way I want. I mean, the ending makes sense. It just wasn't the ending that I wanted.
Right.
But it was good. It reminded me of kind of like an updated version of Hoosiers.
Okay.
That's kind of how I felt. Like, except the, you know, remember in Hoosiers, Gene Hackman, the head coach, you know, he was fine. The guy that he brought in as his assistant coach was the kid's dad, who was the alcoholic. Remember what I'm talking about?
No.
Remember? All right. You ever see the movie Hoosiers? You had to have seen the movie Hoosiers.
I have, but I really don't remember it.
Well, I've seen it several times. So
I really don't remember it. Like I can't really tell you about it.
How can you? How? That's like that's like definitely a classic. You know what? Go watch it with the boys. No. Go watch the older boy. Not the younger boy. The older boy. The younger boy want to watch it because the two of you are watching it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it reminded me
with Tiny Diamond.
It reminded me of Hoosiers, except the coaches were a little reversed. Affleck as the head coach, the, you know, alcoholism and what led him to that, and so, you know, good. It was fun. It was a fun movie. Next on my list is Motherless Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the one, the Eastwood one. The guy that got accused of the Atlanta bombing.
Oh, yeah.
I was told that was good.
It was okay.
And
no bias, because I know.
Right. Jake says it was okay because he works for the paper that.
My job is the villain in that, but like no lie, like it was okay. Like there's nothing about that movie that like captivated me. Now it might be different for you because you were here when that happened, like you were living here when that happened. Right. So I saw it at work. Like they just like got a theater and we all saw it at work. And I got the book that it's based off of. Richard Jewell. There you go.
Richard Jewell. Yeah, that's one.
But like when I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like I learned things because when that happened, I was in New York.
Right.
But like for other people that were in the audience that I work with, like some of them remember like the actual reporter.
Yeah.
Were like super upset because according to them, like, you know, she was like out there, but she wasn't hoish. Like the movie made her seem.
Well, yeah, right. The movie kind of insinuated it.
Oh no, it wasn't an insinuation.
Right, but
dude, it was not an insinuation. It was not an insinuation. It was not an insinuation. Like
it was metaphorical.
It wasn't. I'm telling you, I saw the movie. It wasn't metaphorical.
To the FBI, it was metaphorical. Not that she actually had sex with the guys, but that she did things to get the story.
Dude, she had sex with the guy. It was giving information. All right, he gave her information, and it's like, oh, okay. So you're gonna stay here, and they left the bar together and then woke up together.
It's a movie, so it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. You guys aren't thinking next level. That's like third eye stuff. You guys.
I don't have a third eye. I'm good. It's like Clint Eastwood made it.
Third eye stuff.
That the reporter traded sex for info, right? And I mean, I don't think she's alive anymore. And I'm sure she's not alive.
No,
that would have been a huge.
That's really why people were upset because. You know, I don't think either of those people are alive. So they were like, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair that he would say that. It's not true. And I think Eastwood's response was like, yeah, how do you think Richard Jewell felt? Yeah, it's not cool, is it? Is it?
I mean, it was messed up, the way he was villainized and whatever. But like I said, to me, the movie, it wasn't bad. Right? It's watchable. But, like, I had no skin in the game. Like I was in New York. I was in New York when that happened. You know, it was like, oh man, it's tragic. Oh, this is what happened. Like I was learning. I was like, oh damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, man. But those, I got those lined up. I got a couple others. Finally saw Red Sun. I don't know if I told you.
Okay, no, you didn't. What did you think?
I liked it. Batman. Blew himself up. I was like, come on, dude.
I thought it was okay.
It was good. I mean, it's an adaptation of the comic book.
Yeah, it's really one of those DC movies that me as a fan and someone that's read the story countless times, that if you haven't read the comic book, then it's okay for you to watch the movie, right? But if you would rather, right? But I would prefer you read the book, right? Read the actual story before watching the movie.
No, you see, I would say backwards because I read the actual story, then I saw the movie. I would say if you've seen them, if you haven't read the story, watch the movie, and that should whet your appetite to kind of go back and actually read.
I mean, I guess
read the whole story.
The story was so good, and for me, it was so much better than what they tried to do in the movie.
But I liked it. It was good. I'm just right now I'm waiting for what's next? Justice League Dark, right?
No, isn't Justice League Dark out already?
No, the second with the sequel. No. It's the Apocalypse War, whatever that.
The Dark Side War.
Dark Side War, yeah. With Justice League Dark's in it. Everybody's in it. Well,
I think it's called the Apocalypse War. Well, look it up. I know the comic book that is there you go. Yeah, this work.
Justice League: The Dark Side War.
Is that the name of the movie too? Because that was the name of the comic series. Because remember, I told you about that series. Like, yo, I'm reading this storyline, The Dark Side War, and like it's amazing. All right, that's dope. So check this out.
Okay, I was right. It's Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War.
So check this out.
All right, that's a glove.
right? I had to buy
Aren't those the ones like to wash dishes?
yeah, Life under Quarantine. I had to buy gloves because, quarantine, quarantines, um, to build my superhero costume. No, like Kick Ass. Remember Kick Ass?
Jay's gonna Jay's gonna cosplay his new character.
No, I have to.
Forget about it, man. Hey, the bodega's getting robbed. Nah, forget about it.
Forget about it. Oh, hey, they just ran off with my money. Hey,
Forget
forget
about it.
about it. No, I have to unclog a toilet.
Mm. You're not supposed to flush. Paper towels, Jay.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Your niece, Sonia, thought it was fun to brush her teeth and then put the toothbrush in the toilet and see if it goes down. So I'm like, yeah, quarantine can't make me. I can't call Byron because Byron's the guy that comes and he fixes and he does all that for us. Can't call Byron because of quarantine, so gotta buy a pair of gloves.
You can't. You call him when he comes in. You Lysol him down. You take everybody and put him outside in the backyard. Then he comes upstairs, does the thing. Then he sprays. He walks upstairs. You spray the whole time.
I mean, you know the deal, right? He can walk in and just go right upstairs.
Right.
He doesn't have to talk or see anybody, but the missus is a lot more freaked out than I am.
The forces that be.
Because he's essential labor. Beer is essential in Georgia.
Not just Georgia.
No?
Remember, like a ton of states have left liquor stores open and labeled them as essential.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
they're like what?
He's essential labor, so he's been going to work every day.
Oh.
And actually they've made like the beer companies before they've made like
water and stuff. Yeah, they've switched to
water and they've made
hand cleaner. The stuff
the hand sanitizer.
That's what I meant, not water, but the hand sanitizer stuff.
Yeah, to give away and stuff. So
don't drink the hand sanitizers.
It's pretty dope. So gloves. That's my project for tomorrow. I have to take the toilet off. Like
I will
take the toilet off and reach down the pipe for her now poopy.
You know what? When you pull that, it might not have made it that far down since it's. Well, I don't know. Is their toothbrush little?
It's smaller than ours. Right, so it's a smaller one.
So it might have come in and just got stuck. It might just be stuck in the toilet because that happened. We had somebody that flushed like a little car, a little army man or whatever.
Yeah.
And it went down, but the toilet kind of does this.
Yeah.
So it might have got stuck at the top. So you might, So if you pull the toilet seat out, that's how you probably just have to reach in.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it's at the bottom because I got like one of those snake things, like the plastic ones, just to see what will hit, and it wasn't long enough to go all the way down because a snake will damage pipes. So, but it went as far as it could, and it didn't like reach anything. So I'm thinking it's like at the bottom.
Or the toothbrush holding on like this, and it was like moving out the way.
All right, it's just stuck sideways like that.
Yeah.
So the snake comes down and goes, and he's like, like he does a Matrix. So that's my project.
I
saw the gloves come in, and I'm like, why did I order? Oh yeah, my poop gloves.
Nice. Not me, man. I've been going around licking people on the faces, just spreading all the quarantine.
I sent you that video, right? Of the guy that was sneezing on the vegetables?
No, but I've read enough of those stories.
I gotta send it to you. this was amazing. The guy is sneezing on the vegetables. I thought I could have sworn I sent it to the group text. That he's sneezing on the vegetables, and a store employee. They say it's a store manager, but somebody's got the smock or whatever. Almost looks like it's a Whole Foods. He comes over and he smacks the dude until next year. He just comes out.
You know, people getting charged. The few people that have done that, you know, they're getting charged like with terroristic. That's terroristic.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Like they're getting like real time, right? Like real jail time stuff.
Yeah.
All I know is that
I can see that.
if I was there, if somebody did that, and we got to throw these away, I'd be like, let me pull my car around. You can just throw them on the back of my car. I'll take them. I'll take all the vegetables. I'll take them. I'll just dump them.
They have that wax coating anyway, right?
Well, even if they don't, run some water through it, little soap, you're good to go. If it's good for my hands, it's good for my vegetables.
Put some hot water, right? Boil it in hot water. You're gonna do that anyway.
Because you're not gonna throw tomatoes in hot water.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro,
right? But,
if all I need is a little soap and water for my hands, that's all we need to do. Why doesn't it work for my veggies?
You put the tomatoes in some vodka. And then you add some, and then you add some marinara sauce, and you got vodka sauce.
And you got what is a Bloody Mary?
You got vodka sauce. You break out the spaghetti or the penne pasta and forget it. There you go.
Right. Then your family dies of alcohol poisoning. I'm just like, what happened? I don't know.
As you eat, you're all drunk. Yo, talk about it. I'm making tonight some quarantine coquito.
Nice.
Right? I mean, normally I don't make coquito until Christmas, but I think you know, there's
nothing else to do.
There's no normally now, right? There's no normally now. So
hey, so we got to give this a shout out.
It was actually Uzu's idea. It was like, hey, under quarantine, we're like, would you make coquito? I was like, you know what? Yes, I will. Too bad you can't visit and get some.
Well, you can leave it outside for him. Do a drive-by.
I've done that. I've done that for Juice for his birthday.
Yo, it's it just hit me. We haven't even brought it up, but we gotta shout out what we did last night.
Oh yeah, I mean there's still time for that, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, is there? I don't know. I'm running time here, and time has become.
It's 18. Whatever. We're 18 minutes in.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead, do it.
What was it called? Bars of
Encouragement.
Bars of Encouragement. Last night we joined our buddy, friend of the podcast, Bert. And he's got this thing where he's meeting. Was it once a week with different?
I don't know
what he's meeting on a semi-regular basis. We'll just say that with just different artists, MCs, friends, pastors, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just doing what he calls just a wellness check, right? Just checking up to see how people are doing, what's going on, anything that could be prayed about for. Then he asks the MCs to drop some bars of encouragement.
Bars of encouragement.
It was very, very cool. I don't know why me and Jay got invited.
Because of the podcast and because of my involvement in CHH, which is funny because I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what happened. It's because of my involvement in CHH and because of the podcast and how we're somehow like 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
He just invited us. So it was funny. Remember when he asked me to tell people what I do?
Right.
Right. So since I was talking about that I work for the news, I thought that's what he was referring to. Like, what do I do for the news?
Right.
But he wanted to introduce me and let people know what I do as far as music and hip hop and all that. And I didn't catch that until after the next guy after me. And I texted him. I was like, oh, I mean, it's all good. Everybody on this episode knows what I do. So as far as that's concerned. Like nobody knows what I do professionally, but they know that I'm involved and all that. Like right, because of the people that were on it. Right, because so it was Richard Dolphin who was on the podcast.
On the podcast.
Right, Heesun Lee, who we realized last night, although we
talked
about her
times,
and we featured her music. We haven't actually had her on the podcast, so that's something we're gonna take care of.
Yeah, we got.
Who else was on there? Eric E, who I haven't seen or spoken to, like in years, like since.
Eric E. Why do I know him, but I can't place him?
I'll send you his music. I'll send you his music. But like this was like, man, I haven't seen or heard from him in years. Brother E, right? Brother E, who was one of my first inspirations back in the day with Bert through the Storytellers, right back home. And then Earthquake, who was a DJ for Cross Movement, right? Of course, Bert was there. I'm trying to remember the Brady Bunch squares, and then you,
and then me, the one guy that had no connection to anything. I was like
connection to me and to Bert.
I was the interloper,
and to Richard and to Heesun. Like I said, it's all 6 degrees of separation, but it was dope. It was dope. It was just like a check-in, and everybody just giving their experiences.
And did you say DJ?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I was looking.
I thought you were looking for Eric E's music.
Good. I will find it.
Like he was dope. I haven't heard anything from him in years. And I'm talking about the last time I spoke to him, pa que sepa. The last time I spoke to him was like within the first 2 years of moving to Georgia.
Spoke to Eric E?
Eric E.
Okay.
I remember I was talking about
Spanish stuff or do English stuff?
Both.
Okay.
Because I remember I was talking about bringing him down for a concert with us. Because remember, back in those days, we did our own thing. With just us. I was talking about bringing him down from New York because he was like gaining traction down here. So, pero así es la vida. Yo, so big surprise that I had today. Apparently one of my uncles allá en Puerto Rico, he has a cooking channel on the YouTubes.
Oh, okay.
Like a tutorial. I'll send it to you. I just sent you the link. Yeah, it's like a tutorial, a cooking tutorial on the YouTubes. Mateo Toño, he's on the family property up there on the hill in Patillas. And he's like no lie, it has the potential to get picked up, right? And be like a big thing because he's doing things like the old school way, like old school island way, right? I mean, as long as he doesn't kill any chickens on the video, but like he's doing like old school. He's using like the leaves of the coconut tree to like wrap up the food. He's like he has video of him like actually chopping the wood and putting it under the grill and starting the fire. And he has a video where he made coconut oil like right there on video, but like straight from the coconut. He grinds it, boils
as opposed to coconut oil that's not from the coconut. I got you.
No, like coconut oil that's from the supermarket, right? Because no lie, we have this coconut oil. We have this coconut oil though that I swear it's not real. I swear it's not real coconuts. Like it has no scent. It has no coconut scent. And when it's next to the stove when we're cooking, like we have it there next to the stove, like the real coconut oil would liquefy real fast. This one, it doesn't liquefy. It's like it stays solid. I'm like, yo, woman, what the hell did you buy there? Like that's not real coconut oil.
Look at the ingredients. That'll tell you.
That's not real coconut oil. But Yeah, he's got a few videos up there where he's like step by step. What does he call it? De que cocina Toño Maraca, because that's what we're known as, maracas. I'm looking at that stuff and I'm like, what the hell? Why does my like 80-year-old uncle have a YouTube video? But you know what? That's dope.
Yeah, you got nothing else to do.
Right? That's dope. That's dope. He has a video where he's showing like the land. So he's showing like all the chickens, the
Right.
turkey, the rabbits. I'm watching it with the kids. And Bean is like, oh look, he has buddies. He has buddies. I'm looking at Molly. He's got yummy buddies.
He gonna eat that bunny.
He's got yummy buddies. Pretty soon there'll be a video on how to make roast rabbit.
How to skin a rabbit.
But it was surprising. He has like video where he shows all of the banana trees and all of the peppers and all the vegetables and fruits that he's just growing. I mean, I think we have like 10 acres on a hilltop.
Right.
Right. So I mean, there's more than enough room for that and like families. Pero I thought it was dope because it's all real raw. Like it's not a fancy kitchen. It's not, ovens and whatever. It's like, no, this is how we used to do it growing up. And he's putting the meat inside the coconut palm leaves and he's putting them on the fire and he's roasting them like that. And I'm like, yo, this has potential. Like this could really be picked up. I think I might send the link over to like all those big like Being Latino and like
yeah. I mean, it ain't gonna be picked up anytime soon.
True.
Maybe 4 years, and by then the old guy will be like, "Yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done. I can't. I'm out."
I mean, like, let's be honest, right? All he needs is for one of these people or one of these sites or pages or whatever to like showcase it, right? So it's like, like put it on their website. Oh, look at what we found, like Tiempo de Ante, like cooking, like a cooking show on YouTube from like the 1950s. Right?
Word.
I mean, white people in Puerto Rico will go crazy, right? Because they want everything organic, right? All the hipsters. Oh no, wait, they didn't allow hipsters to go to Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The only way Puerto Rico can be saved is we gotta start importing hipsters.
That's right. They didn't let the hipsters go to Puerto Rico.
They'll clean it up. They'll start businesses, and then of course, they'll want to be authentic to the culture that they're in.
All right.
So I'm telling you. I mean, that's
right. Cafecito.
I mean, that's just,
white guy from Idaho.
right, but he'll make it like
but respecting the way it was done and
right.
using only the beans that are grown from Puerto Rico, like beans from Jauco,
right.
like.
And then you're gonna be like, "Yo, this cafe is better than abuela's."
Yeah, how much is this cafecito? $6?
$6.
Damn. Okay, but it's for the economy. It's for the local economy.
It's better than abuela's.
Wait, you put what in here? Really?
Actually, you could probably get it'll probably be $5.50, not $6, $5.50, because
no,
it's $5.50. Yeah, because you don't pay as much to get the beans.
No, it's $5. It's $5.
You just drive up.
No, I'm saying it can't end in a 50. So it'll be like $5.43.
$5.99.
It can't end in 99. It's got to be like a weird number. It's got to be like an off number. It can't be like a full rounded number.
That's all I'm saying. All we need is some hipsters.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, talking about.
But anyway, yeah, but we had a good time last night talking with those guys. It was fun.
And it's scary, right? Because there was a lot of them had firsthand accounts of how the coronavirus or how COVID affected them.
Right, it's affecting them. I mean, and yeah, I mean, well, you know me, I'm the contrarian anyway, but I get it. I always think in context, everything in context for me though, right? Because it's out here we're so much more spaced out. Right. Right. Whereas in New York, yeah, it makes sense that you're gonna hear about, yeah, I know somebody because, everybody, you got how many millions of people in a square block, right? In New York City. So it's just when it's so packed in, right? It's heightened up even, it feels even more heightened, and it's
Yeah,
heightened even more.
when you're like Bird had family
Right,
that
right, right,
succumbed
right.
to the virus, right? So even if it's like that, right? But when it's that close to home, right? Then then you that like that forces you to start taking things a bit more serious, right? And start really trying to abide by the warnings. I thought it was cool. I don't know if you were on when he said this. I thought it was cool when he said that there was a sister from the church who was on the quarantine.
Right, yeah, where they all went and sang in the
Right.
street. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was there.
I thought that was dope. That was a dope.
That was very cool. But but they didn't abide by quarantine either. They should have stayed home.
Nah, they did. They did social distancing worship.
Right. But did other people social distance from them? That's what I'm saying. But y'all, here's the thing though, right? Here's the thing that bothers me about this COVID-19 thing too, right? Is that when people test positive or if people take a test,
Yeah.
if they don't put them in the hospital right away, they send them home where they're living with people for them just to give them COVID. Right?
Yeah, it's like they said, like if I were to test positive, right? But my symptoms aren't bad, then I'm sent home, right, to self quarantine for 14 days. But I've got a family of people in here that might not be as lucky as I am not um by not showing any symptoms, right? Or I don't show symptoms, or people that don't show symptoms, they send home, and they'll take that as like, okay, well, I'm not showing any symptoms. They send me home, so I'm safe, and they'll give it to their families, that'll give it to their friends. That it's like it's a weird thing.
So
It's a
my
weird
thing,
thing.
it's
But
am I coming through? All right, there we go.
But then you have those that like they were saying last night that test positive and it's bad, and then they just get sent to the hospitals and you don't see them again. And then if they die, they can't get picked up. You can't have a funeral. You can't do anything. That's
Right.
I know an artist that they had family succumb to this, pero in the Dominican Republic, right? And all she got was a FaceTime call about it, and she couldn't go home.
Right.
And she couldn't go home to see or be with family or like nothing. So
Yeah, and so that's like I sympathize, right? And I know that I mean it's a terrible thing. It's never good when a family member dies. I get all that, but I still I still want to my just as my own the way I am, right? I still want to see like, and the thing we're not getting like if people we're not getting any real information back on, well, yeah, this person was had all these underlying conditions, and so their immune system was already compromised. Or yeah, I don't know if you saw, I don't know if I sent you the article. New York, they just came out, they were doing a study in New York, second highest cause for potential, second highest risk group to get COVID. Yeah, we did talk about it. No, obesity.
Oh, obesity, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That guys, I know that I got that article from you, but then I also got an article saying that like especially like in Europe, that the reason why like so many people in Europe and in China, why it was more men than women was because they were smokers. Like in China, more men are smokers than women, and in Europe, like almost all of the older generation, men or women, they're all a bunch of smokers.
Well, but then I saw something. I was listening to something the other day. They were talking about there's a small little study that came out that said, well, maybe smoking is helping some people recover from the COVID because their lungs are already so messed up. They're so used there's just something going on with their lungs, with all the smoking, that it doesn't affect them in just quite the same way. Who knows, right? I mean, that stuff will get figured out eventually. But so that's my thing. Is like, okay, well, how many of these people that are dying are morbidly. No, they're morbidly. They're not Moby. Well, they might be Moby, the great white whale. Like, how many of these people are morbidly obese? Because we both know, right? We know, because I mean, we have people in our family that are morbidly obese. I mean, I was on that. I was right on that threshold, and it's like you've got all kinds of underlying health issues.
Yeah.
That you even know about, because the fat is it's covering it up, and then one day it hits, and it's like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? So that's my thing. Is I want to know more. I want to know, because I mean, 104-year-old Italian grandpa makes it. 101-year-old
106.
Was he 106?
He was 106 years old. There was one 104, and then the oldest one is a 106-year-old guy.
Okay. And there was there's been a talk about the greatest generation. There's a couple of World War II veterans and over 100 years old. Got it.
There was the guy who was I think it was 101, that was born during the Spanish flu, survived the Holocaust, and then survived COVID. So yeah.
So it's like what are they doing? I want to know what they're doing to stay healthy, because they made it. So it's I think that one of the things that we need to really focus on, and this is what I've been trying to focus on too, is what? Build up that immunity.
Right.
Build up that immunity. Not because the immunity itself the immunity will help you fight the infection, which will give you a chance, right? And we've talked about this, and I'm gonna put it out there. Listen, everybody, go outside for 20 minutes a day and just stand in the sun. Vitamin D, that some studies have come out, vitamin D is great for boosting your immune system, right? Boost your immune system. Do the vitamin D. Take your vitamins.
Right. Take the multivitamins. Go out and spend some time, at least an hour in the sun, at least. Yeah. An hour in the sun. If you can, right? Because in a lot of places you can't.
Especially, I was reading that the darker skinned you are, the more time. So me, 20 minutes is fine. You probably need to do like 25 minutes.
An hour.
The Baron would need an hour. You would, 30 minutes or whatever, right?
It's like 30 minutes, but still, like spend like at least an hour in the sun. Like, if you didn't exercise before, exercise now, right? Exercise now, because it's a respiratory. It attacks you. From everything I've read, it's a respiratory disease first, so it attacks all of your respiratory organs, right? So you need to get those lungs working and breathing and your heart racing, right, to help out and all that. Because
and it's as simple as
Chris Cuomo, not a fan of the guy, but he contracted it, and he was talking about how he felt like the fire in his lungs, and it was keeping him from doing things. But then his doctor would tell him, do those things, right? If you ran every day, don't stop running, because if you're immobile, then then the body's not going to be fighting against it, right? So he was like, if you ran, then stay running, stay doing those things, so that you could give your body the chance to fight against it, right? Don't sit down, don't lay down and do nothing, right? You have to fight against it, because it's a virus.
Yeah, and it's as simple as just a couple of times a day, go for a 25, 30-minute walk. Doesn't even have to, or just, go outside, take a left, and just walk, and then just come back. Most places you're not locked down. Well, actually, I don't think anywhere they just tell you, if you go outside, keep social distance.
Right. So social distance. It's not martial law, right? It's not like in India. They see you outside and the cops will beat you, right? Here it's the social distance, 6 to 10 feet, right? So the further away, the better, right? And especially around people that you don't live with, right? Because you just don't know like where they've been. It's like when you're growing up,
So
kid,
listen,
you don't know where they've been, right? You don't know where they've
Yeah.
been. But like, like where we live, like, and we live in different places, but area wise, it's the same, right? There's subdivisions, right? So you can just walk, right? Where I live, we've been doing that every day. We'll walk 2 times around the neighborhood, and it's all 4 of us, and we'll go all the way around. We'll walk 2 times. Sometimes I'll stay outside and I'll walk an extra 2 times because then that's 2 miles, right? 4 laps around my neighborhood is 2 miles. So we do that, and what we started doing now is in the morning. I found like little kid exercise videos.
Right.
So it's like with cartoons doing the exercises, so it motivates the kids, and we just been joining them, right? And just doing the jumping jacks, like doing the squats, just to get them, also get them into that routine to not just do the walks, but then also be active.
Right.
So if you have kids, that's something that you all can do together.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing, man. My thing is, and stop watching the news. Oh, for the love of God, just watch it. Either watch it that 1 hour in the morning or that 1 hour at night, and then be done with it.
Take it from the guy that works for the news. Stop watching the news.
Well, I have it on at work all the time too. I mean, I get it. We both have. Me and Jay both have news like all the time.
All the time.
I get home, I shut that junk down. I'm like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it because stay off of Facebook. Stay off reading all that stuff. Like, just.
Well, first of all, stay off of social media. Stop getting your news from social media, right? Social media is not a viable news source. That's number one. Number two, like you said, if you're going to watch it in the morning, watch it in the morning. You're going to watch it in the evening, it'll be the same news in the morning. So you're not really missing much. Right. And if something big happens, then they'll interrupt whatever TV or whatever you're watching. They'll interrupt it.
Or you'll get an alert
to give you like that big thing, right? Like me, like you said, watching news and having to be ensconced by news all day. But so when I used to go to the office, when I left the office, everything stayed in the office. Right. But now that I'm working from home, as soon as I'm done and I'm off the laptop, I don't even look. Like I look at my watch when I get the alerts. If it's not something I have to do right now, I'm good.
Yeah, it's because it's if and more think about it, you're stressing yourself out over the news, which means you're compromising your immune system because of all the stress. So you need to stop doing that. Need to stop doing that to yourself. We all need to stop doing that. I found that I'm a lot calmer now. Like I don't get as worked. I mean, I still get worked up because that's just who I am. But that's the thing though, right? It's like now I'm just a lot calmer. I just, what I can. As a matter of fact, I stopped watching news. I read news because I can just kind of read what I want to read and kind of what I'm want to look at and go through, and then I'm done. And it's not just constant. So do that. That's how we can avoid the new normal, as Jay.
Yeah, because it keeps your stress levels down, right? We don't realize that if our stress levels aren't down, that compromises our immunity, right? Yeah. That makes us unhealthy. Right? High stress situations make us unhealthy. So new normal. So I wanted to touch base on that a little because that's been like the catchphrase everywhere and everybody. Oh, the new normal. Because we have to acknowledge the fact that everything before lockdown, because I don't even want to say COVID, right? Before lockdown, because we've had other SARS, other coronaviruses that hadn't made us lock down, right? The way we have now with no social distancing or whatever, right? But before lockdown, let's acknowledge that everything that happened before that is done, right? That life is over, right? We're never getting back to that unless you never worked and you never went outside and you were antisocial and you just stayed home all day and all night and whatever, right? Then then right now this is your utopia. But how we lived before, we're never gonna get that back because even if we right, it's like those of us that were alive during 9/11, right? Our life before 9/11 where where the United States was seemingly untouchable, right? We're never going to get that back. Right now we have, and it's never coming back, because now terrorists are even more bold on U.S. soil, right? So now with this, whatever your lifestyle was beforehand, unless again you are a basement creature, it's never going to go back to that. And spiritually speaking, on the kingdom side, I like the idea that it's not going to go back to that, because it's funny how before all this happened, I've been wrestling with a lot of thoughts and ideas that the church as a whole, we and Joaquin, we've talked about this. We even had a podcast about this. The church as a whole has become so enamored with having relevant status, or being seen as relevant, or celebrity status, that it has made us, and when I say us, I'm speaking
generally
the blank us, the general us, the church us. It has made us stagnant in our mission. And our mission is, the Great Commission. And it's funny, my uncle sent me a meme, and I'm sure it went everywhere. It's just funny that he sent it to me, where it has like a caricature of what's supposed to be Satan and a caricature of what's supposed to be God, hovering over the earth. And like Satan is saying, I shut down all the churches, and then the God image is saying, well, actually, all you've done is make sure that I establish a church in every single household, right? And a lot of other people will see that and say, yes, hallelujah, that's right, the devil can't stop us. But meanwhile, I see that and I'm like, this is how it should have been, right? Not so much a church having home church, every house is a home church, but even as families, we still should have been gathering and like Bible lessons and teaching in our homes, right? I think we have gotten to a point where we just like schools, like school with children, that we just left it all to our Sunday mornings, or afternoon, or Saturday nights, whatever it is, and have not been.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Hey, not talking to you, and not being responsible with that in our own homes. Right. So now this has forced us, right, to start doing things, to be mission focused again, right? Because now you have people that maybe have not done it before, but people going out of their way to like be a good neighbor, right? And I'm not talking State Farm. I'm talking about how the Bible tells us to be a good neighbor. How, checking in on our brothers, checking in on people that have a need. Now, what we should have been doing all the time is what we're being forced to do now. So, I'm hoping that at least that aspect of everything that's going on now, that we can continue on with that once the country's open again, once things go back to quote unquote normal, that we keep those things, right? Because it's during times of emergencies or persecution is when the church has risen and revival has happened. But people expect revival to be like a big, Holy Spirit downpour, like in the book of Acts, when like if you really pay attention, this is a type of revival. When I see that an anchor on MSNBC is having TD Jakes close out the newscast with the prayer, right? Yeah, yeah. Right. That's a big thing, especially because it's MSNBC.
But it's TD Jakes.
but it's still MSNBC, right? MSNBC, which is yeah. You know what I mean? So, like the new normal, the old normal is gone, and the new normal will be gone too. But I don't know. I'm just hoping that when it comes to the church and to we the believers, that the things that we stepped up to do now because of COVID, that we remember that even after COVID, like the mission still stands, right? Those things still need to continue on. We still need to be good neighbors. We still need to care for the elderly and the widowed and and the kids that can't fend for themselves. Still need to check in on each other, right? We had one of our worship night kids who passed away, and we didn't find out until days later, right?
Right.
Because he had no one to check in on him. And I didn't know about it, but that's not an excuse, right? That's not an excuse because, we're all, man, it's all God's kingdom, right? It's all God's kingdom. And we are all called to be missional. And the mission is not with the church building or the worship gathering, but with the church body, right? We as individuals, or two by two, right? We're all called to the mission, whether it's under emergency circumstances or not. And the emergency that's always out there is the fact that whether it's by virus or sickness or whatever, people are dying and going to hell, right? And that's just the reality. If you're a Christian, then you know that there are people that don't believe in God that are dying and going to hell. And that should always be on the forefront of our minds. And that's our emergency.
Right.
Right. What are you looking at? You keep making faces.
No.
You keep making faces.
When I talk, I hear myself. So I don't know. You don't hear me echo?
Nah. I heard myself echo a couple of times when I was talking.
Yeah, I don't. That's a weird.
No, but a while ago, not this time.
Yeah, it's just a weird. I don't know if maybe your speaker, your microphone is picking up the speaker a little bit, but no, yeah. I mean, I hope too that was going. See, and I think it was touched on yesterday in the little group, a little Zoom chat that we were having, is that people are like, man, I miss getting together with the family.
All right.
And I hope that this is the part of what's going on with this is that people will kind of have that this won't. I mean, we talked a couple weeks back that this doesn't give us the whole Zoom and Skype and stuff doesn't give us the excuse to go, well, I don't have to be there, but I hope that this drives that hunger. Where in the scripture talks about, they met together, right? Mm-hmm. They met and they broke bread and they prayed. And what would be great is that, if this would allow, or if this is maybe drives kind of that desire to meet with those small groups every week. And then, then obviously, everyone goes and worships on Sunday in your building and together, but that it drives a desire not just to do that, but to also drives that desire to go, yo, my small group is meeting this week. I'm going to go. I'm going to be intentional about connecting with the smaller group, right? With the smaller community within the larger community.
Right.
Of, whether it's influencers Espanol, whether it's, you're going where again? I forget. You Renovation, right? So it's like, whether it's just connecting with that smaller group within the larger family, right? So that we can grow, so that we can have that support network for when something else will happen. It always happens, right? But could you imagine, something else happens and you've built that, with the technology, you've built that way to continue meeting with your family group.
Yeah.
Whereas now it feels like we're talking about earlier, people had to scramble. It shouldn't have been that difficult. Right? If me and you have a small group of 7 people, 8 people, 10 people, we could have just jumped on Facebook Messenger and we all could have talked together.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't need Zoom. Right? Zoom didn't have to be, oh my gosh, the Zoom. We can do no, there was, Skype.
It was always the technology.
It was always there. We just never, we never cared enough, I think, honestly. I don't think we ever cared enough to really want to be able to go, hey, if our group can't meet physically, what can we do to meet?
Yeah, it's just canceled, right? Oh, we can't meet on Thursday. Oh, okay, well, it's just canceled. We do it next week.
Yeah, well, my dad, my parents, they've been having Sunday school through Zoom, right? Like 30-something people, right? And the guy that runs it was like, yeah, he goes, once we get back to meeting together like normally, right? Like we normally do, he goes, we're still going to use Zoom. So if you can't be here, then we'll have somebody that'll be ready to connect right into Zoom, and we'll put you right there so you can at least be with us through Zoom if you can't be there with us,
right,
together. And I'm just like, I was listening. This is my dad's and mom's Sunday school class. We're older, right? They're all older people, right? And they're just like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that sounds great, right? And I heard it, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope, right? Because the older folk are getting it. I don't know.
Which is funny, right? Because they're getting it now. Because that's what we talked about the last time, how the church I grew up in New York were really against like the advancement of technology, right? They were against it, but now like all other churches, they've had to embrace it and use it.
Well, I'm talking about the more mainstream older folk.
I know, but still, like it's still something awesome to see how, you go from, oh no, wait, too much technology is evil, to like, hold on a minute, like we can use this even after we can open our doors and meet again.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's like people our age or younger, how many of them actually thought about going, wait a minute, hey, yo, whenever we all get together to hang out and when we have worship night, if you can't be there, man, I'll just put you on Zoom and you can just participate with us through Zoom. Like, I know I'm not necessarily right. I just, generally speaking, I feel like, that like that's a thing not a whole lot of people are thinking about, that, oh, once things get back to normal, whatever that is, we can continue to use this to connect, even if we can't make it to the church building, as a way to connect, not as a way to just be like, well, I'm just going to stay home because I don't need to be with people to connect with God. Not that dumb stuff. I'm talking just the kind of extension of saying, hey, Jay, I know you're sick this week. Hook up through Zoom or hook up through Skype with me, and then you can be with us.
But that is something that that's something that Vineyard did for us after Bean was born. Right. And I think now they're using it more and more. But after Bean was born, Tommy, he was still the pastor of VCC. He set up a camera. He set up a camera, like, real, like a little like desktop cam, like the old school desktop, in front of the sound booth, and had it facing the stage, and we would watch the services home because we were I was taking care of the baby and the wife, right? and like it wasn't something that was done before or whatever, but like to do that for us so that we can still like enjoy service. Like he set up that little webcam, and we were able to from far away, right? We were able to, but still enjoy worship and enjoy that. So
yeah, so
that's like a precursor. But I hope so. I hope that people see that as you said, not as I don't need to go to the building to connect with God, because you're right, you don't. But you need to go to the building to connect with the body,
right? The family.
You need to go to the building to be able to be prayed for, to be able to be, as much as I hate using this term, but to be able to be loved on, right? Yep. To be able to connect with other people that love God and serve God the way you do, right? In the words of Saint Bon Jovi, no man is an island.
Yeah, well, and you can't complain. Then and also you can't not show up and then complain that the church doesn't care about you when they don't even know who you are.
And they don't know what your struggles are,
and
right?
They don't know what your because you don't show up. So yeah, so let's, you know, just continue with that. Let's continue looking forward to once we can get back to, being around each other. Um, I'm still gonna hug. So spray me down with Lysol. Right?
Dude,
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
funny,
I'm
right?
still gonna
Because
hug.
I don't like the part of service when it's like hug three people hug people around you or whatever. Like I just don't like that. Like I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, once we're able to meet again, I'm gonna be that first guy. Yo, is it hug time? Is it time to hug? Right?
Well, it's funny though, right?
it's
Because
like-
you realize it's like when you can get it, you don't want it.
Right.
But when all of a sudden you can't have access to it,
Right. It's what I call the Twin Towers effect, right? A lot of people from New York never went to the Twin Towers because in their mind it's there, they can go anytime, whatever.
Right.
And now it's gone, and you have millions of people with like the regret that they've never made it to the Twin Towers.
right? And now when you go to New York, one of the first things that New Yorker says is, "Hey, we're gonna take you to the new Twin Towers," right? It's
Yeah.
like you gotta go, right?
Yeah. Because when we went in August, like I was like, oh, okay, well, we went for the Yankee game, but we had 2 days. So what are we gonna do? I want to go to the World Trade. It's like I want to go check out the new building, right? I want to go check out all the Oculus. I want to see all those things,
Right.
right?
And
And that's exactly what we did.
yeah. So that's the thing. It's just as we move on to whatever this new thing is, it's real simple, right? Still hug people. Just make sure you wash your hands with some soap and water and don't touch your face. Those are the two things everyone could do to not get sick
Have
ever.
to get anything, no cold, no flu, right?
Right.
Those things should stick around.
Wash your hands. So we should have been doing, right? Cover when you cough. Soap and water, not Purell. Soap and water. Purell's for emergencies. Soap and water, right?
Purell, so when you're in your car. Like
Right.
I have the little hand sanitizer in my
Yeah.
car. I went to pick up the groceries today. I was like,
Yep.
right?
Soap.
When I came home and I brought all the bags inside, went and I washed my hands.
Yep, soap and water, and just don't touch your face, and you won't get nothing.
This whole thing has made me realize how much I touch my face.
Or how much I still touch my face.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like how much I touch my face. I'm getting things. Like I put gas in the car because I didn't have any gas in my car, and I wanted to fill up the tank.
Yeah.
I wanted to fill up the tank before the prices go back up because like people are driving again.
Yo, what's the lowest? What's the lowest out there?
I filled
Yeah.
up my tank with $25, dude.
What's the lowest out where you're at?
140 something or 130 something.
Loser, 112.
Wow.
I filled up my car with $12 the other day.
Wow. I filled my tank today with $25. I was like, yo, because it was empty. Like it was on E.
Right.
Driving it, the little things, like until it was on E. So I went and I filled it up, $25. I was like, yo, that's what's up.
I'm gonna go buy. You're like, I save money. I'm gonna go buy a Coke.
I'm gonna go buy some cookies.
Yup.
Oh my god! But
112,
anyway,
112 is the lowest that I've seen around here. 112.
that's what's up.
So I gotta go fill up today. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what we got for you guys this
That's
week.
it.
Just reflection and conversation because the world is shut down.
Well, I'm about to go shower, bless some water, go see my girl, throw some holy water on her to cleanse her, spray her down with Lysol.
Yeah, for me, Sonia's awake, so I'm gonna go get her.
Go get
And
her,
then-
spray her down with Lysol.
Go downstairs and probably. I don't know what time is it.
It's
It's
almost 3.
I gotta start peppering and seasoning some steaks. We've been eating a lot of steaks lately.
Oh, word. All right, brother. All right, that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. We've got nothing else to add. If I don't cut it off, we'll keep talking because that's just what we do.
Yeah. The 2-hour goodbyes.
2 hour good. That's right. So
Actually,
anyway,
I just saw my car is still out front. I have to go. We shop for mom, so I have to go bring her groceries and her supplies.
you're like, sorry, the ice cream melted, ma. So anyway, thanks for joining us this week on the Overflow Podcast. Next week we'll talk about whatever it is we're gonna be talking about.
Whatever it is we're gonna talk about.
Y'all just remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face.
Don't hug strangers.
And you'll be all right.
Hug strangers. During the COVID-19 epidemic is not a good time to meet people and hook up.
And if you're gonna be one of those people that wears a mask, please cover your nose. Don't walk around with a mask on and your nose out.
You got just the bottom lip so you can stay talking. Don't be an idiot.
Don't do that. Just don't wear the mask. All right. So till next week, I'm Joaquin.
I'm still Jay.
All right. Peace, y'all. Love you.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.